Hello, everybody. This is John Braun with Hitman Advertising, and welcome to a Coaching Club webinar. We're going to be talking about some very relevant things at hand right now that are going on for cleaning companies, really for spring, really going and progressing on to really tromping through the second quarter and really trying to get all that we can get done right to get as many clients and to get our marketing set, our budget set, and our marketing set to get all the business that we actually want to handle. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I have a few things to talk to you about. Like I mentioned, we're going to talk a little bit about Angie's List, a little bit about some new things in AdWords, and a little bit about some new things going on with some of the EDDMs that we're doing and things like that. So let's go ahead and get right into this right here and talk about some spring cleaning marketing, what's going on. There's a really good book that I recommend that you read. It's by a man named Jay Abraham, and he is a very good copywriter, very good marketer, and you can get it on Amazon, I think, but I highly recommend that you read the book. It's kind of thick. It's thicker than some other books, so at least read the first half of it, maybe get the gist of it. But in a nutshell, if you don't want to read the whole book, I'll just give you a quick synopsis, although I still recommend that you read it. He basically is saying that most businesses do not take full advantage of the customers and the things that they already have going on in their business. Now, I know as cleaning companies, I know some of you are brand new and you don't quite have a database list really going yet. And if it's your first year, maybe your first 2 years, that might not hit home as much for you. But I know a lot of you. I'm looking at the list, and I personally know a lot of you guys, and I know a lot of you have been in business for a while, and you've got a list of several hundred, if not several thousand clients that you've done business with. So the suggestion that he makes really, really almost demands really that you do if you want to listen to his advice, is to get everything you can out of all you got, and don't forget that you have current clients that love you. That is a big thing that I talk about more and more and more for cleaning companies, guys. It is super important that you pay attention to them. You've already done a lot to gain them, and you've already done a lot to woo them, and you have them on, you know what their address is, you know that they've called you for cleaning. Why would you not want to market back to them? Why would you allow them to go to somebody else? Because if you're not continuously marketing to them, they are going to, I guarantee you. There have been studies. My friend Howard Partridge did a survey a long time ago, and I've even done this periodically with my clients, and asked them, who, different places, who's the last person that cleaned your carpet? Hardly anybody knows. Nobody remembers the last carpet cleaner. Why? They don't market to them. They totally forget. They say, well, I've cleaned for them, so they're going to call me back because we did a good job. Even if you do a great job, they're going to forget who you are just because they've got other things going on in their lives, and the most important thing is not to remember you. So make sure that before you do anything else with marketing, you get everything you can out of what you got. And your database is super, super important. So some of the stuff that we're going to talk about, again, we're going to talk first a little bit about concentrating on your current clients and how to do that. Also, we're going to talk about targeting new prospects and how do you target the right prospect when you're targeting new prospects. And we're going to talk about giving them killer offers in that, both current clients and brand new prospects. Of course, we're also going to talk about Google AdWords and Angie's List. So this is an example of a reminder postcard. Highly, highly recommend that you do reminder postcards every 12 months and even at the 24-month interval after somebody cleans for you, or after you clean for somebody. Now, that it shouldn't stop there, though. Some cleaning companies don't even do that, which, that's really, really bad. But some people stop there, and that's all they do, so that all they ever hear from their cleaning company is from once a year saying, hey, it's time to clean your carpet again. It's been a year. Do it. It's very important, but do other things too, like remind them about referrals. Do you have a referral program? If you don't, I highly recommend that you set one up. And I also highly recommend that you continuously educate them about how to refer you and about the fact that you have a referral program and that you want referrals. Sometimes it doesn't occur to them that even though you came out and really did a great job and they love the service, you showed up early, it does not occur to them that they should refer you to other people. So this is an example of like another referral postcard. And yeah, this is one that we actually have in the Ad Coaching Club. It's a 4x6-inch postcard. So is the other one that we just showed you. On the other side, it just gives information that outlines your referral program. And it really is a postcard that's designed for them to give this actual postcard to their friends, and then they get a referral reward for doing that. Don't forget to do stuff like that. And again, all of that stuff is in the Ad Coaching Club. As well, don't forget to educate them. This is what I call a newsletter postcard. It's a 6x11-inch postcard, a larger postcard, especially the areas where it's been snowing. Some of you have had a lot of snow here in the last even month or so, and it's even more on their mind that they have ice melt and salt in their carpet and on their floors. And again, here we're not just sticking with carpet and rugs. We're graduating them to also talking about floors and how this stuff is ruining their floors and how we need to come in and rinse that out professionally. And spring is the best time to do that. A lot of the places in the U.S. are warming up. Well, some places it's actually gotten colder and it's snowing a little bit, but for the most part, warming up. This is a perfect time to enter this type of a conversation. This is the kind of stuff that they're thinking about. And again, this is an educational type of thing. So can you imagine if you had a client list and you didn't mail them anything but a reminder postcard, and how yeah, they might call you back when they were ready, but then what if you actually mailed them something like this that educated them about the dangers, and they maybe weren't thinking about calling you again for another 6 months or another year, or when their carpet got real dirty, they might have thought about it. But here you're putting that fire under them and saying, hey, you had all this ice melt from all this snow. It's ruining your carpet and your floors. You should get cleaning now. And then the other side, well, here's a special offer. And spring cleaning's here. Now's a great time. We talk about the referral program here. We talk about a special offer. We do another special free pickup and delivery. Now, if you notice too, this is a special offer that I love to give because it's what I call a multiple service type of an offer. It's not just going to get carpet cleaning, but this offer is to get $25 off any second service. So in other words, they're paying full price for carpet cleaning or tile cleaning or whatever first larger amount of service that they decide to get. For their second service, they get that for $25 off. So that's really introducing tile or vinyl floor cleaning. I think in this particular one, we didn't mention upholstery, but you can mention that one if you want. But basically, we want to come in and they know us, my company in particular, they know us largely, and a lot of you too probably, for carpet cleaning. So we're coming in and we're doing carpet cleaning at full price, and then we're giving them $25 off of any tile cleaning service that they want to have done. And that kind of thing works great. It works great to introduce that and to get higher job tickets and to give them a special offer and introduce them to the other services that you do. Of course, too, just reminder postcards just about spring, giving them some bonus offers. Spring's here. Here are 7 reasons to get your cleaning done now. And it's just giving them some huge benefits to cleaning and some free gifts, gifts that aren't necessarily giving away the farm. I think here, this particular one is you'll get $50 in free tile cleaning with any cleaning purchase. So in other words, they get nothing off of carpet cleaning, but they will get $50 in free tile cleaning or vinyl floor cleaning when we come out. You can adapt that, all of these type of offers, of course, adapt it to as you wish. But understand that the main gist here is 2 things: reminding your clients through the mail. Don't assume that we're going to talk about emails in just a second, but don't assume that they're getting your emails or that they always want all of your emails, because most of your clients don't. Give the clients that do want your emails, yes, but communicating with them through the mail, educating them, and then giving them an offer. That's what we're talking about here. Reminding, educating them, and giving them some type of an offer. And again, this time of year, it doesn't have to be an offer that gives away the farm. In this particular case, $50 in free cleaning. I don't even know, my cleaning company, we probably don't normally give away that much in the springtime, but you can if you want to, depending on what your job ticket average normally is and how much of a special offer you want to do. Obviously, the bigger the offer, the better of response that you're normally going to get. But as well, emails. Don't forget emails. Be collecting those from all of your clients. Be sending them emails every other week, maybe twice a month. And yeah, email the people that want to get emails from you. However, I'll strongly tell you that not everybody will give you their proper email. Some people will give you the wrong email address on purpose, or an email address they don't ever check. Some people will flat out refuse to give you their email, or some people will give you their proper email and then unsubscribe within the next couple of weeks. So don't think that that's the only way that you can communicate with them. Is it a good way? Yeah. Is it a cheap way? Absolutely. Should you do it? Absolutely. It's not the end all. The only way that you can constantly stay in front of them is by sending them something through the mail. That's why I'm a huge proponent of client newsletters, and we have some spring newsletters as well that are trifolded newsletters, but client newsletters, client postcards, and things like that. By the way, we are taking questions. Let me open up my question here. I'll stop periodically to answer questions. If anybody does have a question, they can pop that into the GoToWebinar chat area, and I will answer your question sometime in the next few minutes after you answer it. So I may or may not get it though as soon as you ask the question, so keep that in mind. But especially anything that's pertaining to any of the stuff that we're talking about, I like to use this time for Q&A to find out where you guys are at, and to find out what kind of a question that you guys have, feedback, and really what you guys want to know about. As well, Facebook, make sure, and here's really kind of the way the theme needs to work out, and well, this case doesn't actually show that, but let me see here. Basically, you would want to send them a postcard, something like this. Maybe you did this, and then the same type of an offer. Your email should reflect the same thing as the postcard, and your Facebook messages should reflect the same thing as your email. You might even want to put something on your blog that mentions something about the same exact postcard, the same exact stuff going on. When you do that, that's called a marketing mix, and you're hitting them in different ways. Your client is a whole lot more likely to remember that message that you gave them when you hit them that way. If you hit them with a postcard, maybe they glanced at the postcard and threw it in the garbage. Then you hit them with an email, maybe they quickly deleted the email. Then you hit them with a Facebook message, and maybe that's the thing that caught them, or the other way around. But don't just think that Facebook is all. Don't just think that postcards are all. Don't just think that email marketing is all. Hit them with all of it. Hit them with all of it. And then put it into a campaign. I mean, really, that's what you're doing when you do it that way. And it kind of goes along. You want to, it's sort of to remind them about the other things that you are talking about in that education. Email is a great place to educate people. Facebook's a great place to educate people. So is direct mail. So all of that, think about that as the marketing mix, doing all of it. Facebook can be done super cheap. And the great thing is once you do the postcard, once you have the idea and or the graphics or whatever you have for the postcard, it's super easy to translate into your email and into your Facebook. Again, for most of these, we have the same graphics that are available to be used in your Facebook and in your email newsletters and email newsletters that go along that. What about Facebook ads? That's exactly a perfect question, Jim. With Facebook ads, you're going to want to do the same thing. Now, the main thing that you're going to want to remember with Facebook ads is you can't have text in the graphic. I don't have it pulled up, but we've got a Facebook graphic that goes along with this, and it doesn't have this text and it doesn't have the logo that you would want to use if you sent out this postcard. So if you're going to do a Facebook ad, that post that you make in Facebook, like here, can't have too much text. It's a 20% of your graphic needs to be filled with text. Now, most of the graphics that we have in the Ad Club site, whenever we say this is acceptable for Facebook, then go ahead and assume that that's the case. There is a grid tool. In fact, if you just Google the Facebook grid tool, we've got a link for it there too, in a couple places in the Ad Club. At the Facebook grid tool, you can just email that or Google that, and you'll be able to put your graphic in there, and it'll tell you you'll have to click on the little squares. It'll tell you if that picture is acceptable to be able to use in Facebook ads or not. You can always post the picture in Facebook with a ton of text. That doesn't matter, but you can't necessarily use that and boost that ad. Now, there's other types of ads that you can do in Facebook as well, that it doesn't have to be associated with only your website or your Facebook page, but you can create an ad that actually will draw people to your website. Absolutely. Do it for sure. And especially, let's say you have 3 or 4 or 1,000 people that like your Facebook page. do that ad to the people that like your Facebook page. That ad's going to be cheaper for you, and you can spend only maybe $1 a day, maybe not even that much, and you're communicating back and staying in front of the people that like you and your Facebook page. The funny thing, when Facebook business pages first started, like for your cleaning company, not your personal page, but your business page, the things in your Facebook page would actually show up in the blog roll or in the Facebook roll where everybody would see it. But nowadays that's rare. I don't even know if it happens much at all. But basically now you have to kind of pay money, and Facebook wants you to, of course, pay money to get that ad seen. Well, and again, it's not much, but you should do it. And if anybody has any questions specific to Facebook ads, Jim or anybody else, we might have some time after we get done going through everything else, just depending on what other kind of questions we have or what we've got going on. But realize first and foremost, your clients are the most valuable part of your business. I always say this: if I were to lose all my equipment, God forbid my building burned down, lose all my trucks, it would be terrible. It would be very, very bad. But as long as I still had my list, that's the valuable part. I do not want to lose that Excel spreadsheet or that QuickBooks software with all of my valuable clients in that list, because those are the people that are going to call me again and bring me business in the next year, right? My equipment will help me deliver that, but that's not the valuable part of my business, right? It's the list. It's the client list. That's the thing that's the most valuable. So do things to invest in that list, guys. Facebook, email marketing, Facebook ads, and remarketing. That's something that maybe just to briefly mention, something we've talked about some in the ad club. We're going to be going over that a little bit more, but setting up a campaign where the people that have been to your website or your blog will see you again in different ads throughout the internet, and you can kind of haunt them and follow them. But do all of that, spend a good portion of your budget on that before you start spending money on other things, EDDM, that type of thing. Steve's asking how much of the budget. I would recommend that you spend out of your budget, probably dedicated at least maybe 15 to 20% of your advertising and marketing budget to going back to and marketing your current clients. Okay. And then after that, the other 80%, 85%, think about doing Google Adwords and everyday direct mail and anything else that seems like it fits in your marketing plan. There you go. Jim's asking, on your Facebook head, it has carpet cleaner if you click on it. Yeah, I think it does. Right, because I think that's the main. I was testing that out. That's something that I was actually testing on my Facebook ad. I think he's mentioning, right? Oh, it's not right here. It's on my actual Facebook page. But it says carpet cleaner right here. How do you do that? You would somewhere in the settings, there's like a button here that you click on for settings and go through, and it's going to ask you which category to put your Facebook page on. That's how you'll be able to do that. I'm testing that to see if that's going to get me ranking any higher. There's another thing you can put it on that's just plain cleaning services. But see, I want to rank higher for carpet cleaner because that's what more people search. They don't usually search for just regular cleaning services. And I want to be known more for that just because that's the bigger search term. So I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do or not. That's sort of a test that I'm doing currently. So we'll see. But yeah, but it does connect you to your competition. Yeah, exactly. So I'm testing that. Who knows if I'll keep doing it that way or not. So let's talk a little bit about Angie's List. Again, if anybody has any questions about the stuff we just went over, by all means, put it into the GoToWebinar chat area. Let's talk a little bit about Angie's List. I sent out an article this morning to everybody on my email list, and really just to let you guys know a little bit about some of the kind of new, it's been going on for a couple of months, but some of the stuff that's going on with Angie's List. And the funny thing is over the years, I've talked to somebody in different areas, more than just one person, but several people that swear by Angie's List, to where they say Angie's List is the best thing that ever happened to me. One particular guy that I know of in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I tell the city because he's pretty prominent sometimes on the internet talking about, or on different cleaning forums and get-togethers talking about how he loves. He's even spoke at different events talking about how he loves Angie's List. I haven't talked to him in the last several months since they've had this new guarantee, but in some cities, Angie's List is really good. That's what I've realized too, is geographically, sometimes it's the thing to do. Just like with some other directories, just like with some places, newspaper is still a great thing, right? normally if it's a smaller city, not normally big cities, but so some places Angie's List is still great. But just to let you know, they've got some new stuff coming up where they're advertising. We promise to give you that the people that you hire on Angie's List will give you a fair price and quality service, and we're going to guarantee that. I'm not sure what all the ifs, ands, and buts are about that, but I know that even just based on the that whole slogan and guarantee of that, that troubles me, and it should trouble a lot of you that have been in business for a little while, or even if you just started. If your prices are more than what your average cleaning company in town is, because fair price, what's that? Define that. I'm not going to leave it to Angie's List to define fair price for me. You shouldn't either, and it's not up to my client to decide what a fair price is. It's up to me because I design my price, and I want to be able to, you're going to pay my price, so you're not going to do business with me. Basically, Ben's mentioning, I have a customer who left feedback on my company. Other than that, I haven't seen anything else. No increase in business. The thing is with Angie's List is you get on Angie's List because a client that has used you will leave feedback. And if it's good feedback or even bad feedback, you're on Angie's List. Now, the thing is, after you're on Angie's List, they'll start calling you and wanting you to advertise with them. So that's the real question here. Should you be on Angie's List? Well, absolutely. Why not? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? Now, if you're going to advertise on Angie's List, that's a whole nother thing. Are you going to make any money? Well, read the article that I've got. It's at hitmanadvertising.com/blog. And basically, they charge money for advertising. Should you spend the money? Well, I don't know. The thing is, the way it used to be and the way it still is, the more you pay, the better you show up in Angie's List. And I always thought that was a little bit unethical because, their whole thing was, well, you can't pay to be on Angie's List, but you can pay. They don't say this, but their big advertising thing was homeowners should trust us because you can't pay to be on Angie's List. Well, you can't pay, but you can pay to be higher on Angie's List. Well, that's almost the same thing, right? Well, that's what I think. Some people, Angie's List obviously thinks differently. I don't know if they've actually been sued for that. They might have been. There might be, but basically, it's a little unethical. Well, whatever. It's not the end of the world. It's a little bit bending the rules, I guess. But if you pay money, you can actually, in my instance, the case that I gave in the blog there was that I had an opportunity to spend $91 a month and be listed higher on Angie's List. I was on Angie's List already, but if I actually wanted to show up number one or number two or whatever, I could pay $91. Well, I did. And what happened was I still wasn't always the top, and they would have all these other people that would do these deals, and they would be the ones to get listed on top. And I would still show up number two or three or not get shown at all. And here I am in a $100 a month contract, which didn't really break my bank, but some of the times it was only $100 because my city is a smaller city. I know if you're in a larger city, Houston, Atlanta, or even a kind of larger city, I know some guys that pay $300, $800 a month for being on that. Well, if you're not in their daily list, you're paying $800 a month. That's a pretty big commitment for most smaller and sometimes even medium-sized carpet cleaning companies, right? Do you want to do that? Well, I don't know. The main thing that I'm going to suggest to you with this, though, is if Angie's List is something that you've already been doing and it's working for you, then keep doing it, right? If you're on Angie's List and you get a lot of clients from Angie's List, by all means, go ahead and keep doing Angie's List. I'm not saying stop. I'm not saying tell Angie's List to get your listing off. That's fine. Be listed on Angie's List. If you're paying a couple $100 a month and it's working, if you're paying $800 a month and it's working, keep doing it. That's the main thing, is it getting you a return for your investment. However, for some of you guys that are just starting out and thinking about, well, should I do Angie's List? The thing that I hate the most about all of these kind of, not all of them, but most of them, Angie's List is one, Yelp is one, trying to think, what other, yellowpages.com, when they want you to advertise on Yellow Pages, they want you to give them a year-long commitment, even though they could put up their ad, your ad on their site, keep it up there for a week and take it off, and it'd be super easy. It's not like it's the Yellow Pages book, right? They want you to commit to a year, which is kind of ridiculous because you're going to know after a month, or really even after a month, whether or not it's going to work for you. So what I would suggest, if you're even thinking about it and the rep is trying to talk you into it, whatever, say, well, here's the deal. I'm willing to try it. Let me try it for 2 months, 3 months tops, and see if it's going to work for me. Because I can't afford, if you can or you can't, I don't know, but just tell them you can't afford to lose money for 12 months if it's not working. And flat out ask them, what are you going to do if after, and get them to give this to you in writing, because you might have a salesman that's going to be unethical. But, is it going to work for you after 2 or 3 months? You're going to know by 2 months. You're going to know by 1 month. Okay. You can afford to maybe lose money for a month or 2 or 3. You can't afford necessarily always to lose money for a whole year. When maybe your whole advertising budget's only, $500 or $1,000 and you're spending 80% of that budget on Angie's List, that's terrible for your cleaning company. That could crush your cleaning company. And again, I'm not just talking about Angie's List with this. All of these type of things where they come around and want you to give some type of a huge commitment. Only gamble, because it's a gamble, only gamble with what you can afford to lose. Okay? No advertising is a sure thing. So only gamble with what you can afford to lose. And the biggest problem is, again, it's not really even in your hands. It's more in the hands of Angie's List. And they could do things like charge you $100 or $500 or $1,000 a month, and then have somebody else even on top of you that's getting all the business. And then all they're going to give you is sorry. They're not going to get, and that's almost what they did to me. But fortunately, I wasn't barely spending $100 a month, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So be careful. Just curious too, though, out of all the guys that we've got here, what are you guys, any of you guys actually advertising on Angie's List right now and doing well with it? If anybody has, go ahead and I'll look over some of these other. Okay, Isaac said he did, and it did horrible. Absolutely. Were you stuck in a whole year? Yeah, and Ben says, I'm never advertising on Angie's List again. What were you paying, Isaac, if you don't mind me asking? How much was it per month? $300 a month, see? And, for a cleaning company where, I don't know, what your budget was, but, if your whole advertising budget's only $500, or even if it's $1,000 or $2,000, that's a good chunk of your advertising budget. And, you want to be careful with that. So if you do test it small, and test it to where they're going to allow you to, make sure they give you in writing that you can cancel it after 2 or 3 months. Don't let them hold you to that. Just tell them you can't afford to give this to them. Just gift them this $800 a month or whatever they're spending and get really nothing in return, or little to nothing in return. Some other comments here. Jim saying, he's getting a 2.5 return on Yelp. That's not bad. It's not great. It's almost good, but it's not bad. If I was getting a consistent 2.5 return on something, I would be tempted to keep it. I would probably still be looking for something, obviously, that's going to give me a better, more consistent return, Jim. But 2.5 return is not bad. So in other words, for every $100 you're spending, you're getting $250 in business. You can build a business that way. And again, the thing that you need to do, though, is, like we talked about, get everything you can out of all you got. Take those people that you are getting, make sure you're marketing back to them and turning them into lifelong clients. The other thing, too, that some of the postcards and some of the emails and Facebook marketing that I just showed you, the other thing that's doing, guys, is not only reminding them, it's educating them that you're better than Joe Blow the carpet cleaner. It's educating them that they need you more often than they think they need you. So they call you more often, they refer you more often, and they're not going to use another cleaner over you. That's what it's about. That's what that marketing is about, and really going back to them and educating them. Ben is also mentioning that, we did something like that for a radio station. Wasn't expensive, and the salesman was honest and had it in print. They would advertise my business name and contact info for $100 a month. But after 3 months, I walked away. Right. Radio is hard for a cleaning company. Not that it doesn't work, because it does, but it only works in the right situation. For most cleaning companies, it doesn't work. It only works if you have a big advertising budget and your whole campaign is geared around or in some way involves that radio commercial. Think about this. How do your clients contact you for cleaning? How do they do business with you? They call you, right? Or they go to your website. How many times have you written down a phone number or a website from a radio commercial? Chances are it's next to never or never, okay? So that's one reason to where that's one of the last places I'd recommend that you go. Although, if you've got a big ad budget and you're doing some other things to where they can contact you in other ways, maybe you have a really catchy uh, phone number and or website, and you have a good amount of money to spend on the radio commercial, radio can be good. Normally, though, it's not. So just letting you know, I've tried radio too, and it barely maybe got me a 2-to-1 return, maybe 3-to-1 return, probably not even a 3-to-1 return, probably a 2-to-1 return. And at the end, I was even doing trade out for them, but I still walked away and said it's not even worth it. I'd rather do other stuff. So let's see here. Oh, Isaac said he did 8 months for Angie's List. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to just blow for 8 months. And a couple other guys saying the radio hasn't worked for them either. Yeah, absolutely. I do know of a few guys that radio does work, but it's not often, and it only works in the right scenario. And we won't really get into this much, but really all this depends, guys, on your marketing plan. Okay, you don't plan your marketing based on the radio salesman showed up and wanted to sell me radio today. You don't plan your marketing, hear this, on the Angie's List rep is bugging me to advertise on Angie's List and says it's the best thing in the world. The Yelp guy is calling me. The Yellow Pages guy is calling me. Who cares? Okay. We had a client that came in and did rug cleaning for us the other day. And he said, yeah, I've got a really good friend that has a radio commercial or does radio, and they work the radio station, and you guys do really good on radio. And so my office person, Teresa, a lot of you guys have talked to her. I think she was up there, and they told her that they're going to call her. So they called her right away, and they're trying to sell her all on radio because of course they're a client now, so we feel a little bit more obligated to maybe listen to them and maybe do business with them. But she just flat out told them the thing is we plan all of our marketing in advance, and all of our marketing for this year is already planned. And if you send us some information, we may consider you for next year. Just letting you know, though, radio normally isn't typically in our marketing plan. And of course, they have a spiel for why it's so great. Well, that's fine, but that goes in one ear and out the other. Okay, my plan is my plan. A salesman is not going to change my plan, and I suggest you guys have that same type of a thing. Don't try to plan your marketing based on somebody that shows up in a short skirt to sell you marketing. I say that in jest, but it happens a lot. All right, Ben saying he doesn't believe in Angie's Lister. Bill's mentioning that we get jobs from Angie's List without paying. Yeah, and the funny thing is we still do too. Not very many, but we still get some. And so Bill doesn't pay the $250 a month fee that they asked for. But then right, and then that amount not paying itself back. Yeah, so Bill's saying based on the amount of searches that are done for Angie's List in his area, that amount doesn't pay itself back. Look at the article that I did. I kind of broke down what the amount of searches were that they gave me when I talked to them, and it came out to like, I don't even remember, $10 every time somebody clicked on my Angie's List my Angie's List ad, regardless of whether or not they bought from me. So basically, I'm paying for pay-per-click on Angie's List for like 10, or I think it was even a little bit more than that. And I can do a lot better with Google Adwords. That's where we're going to lead into with Google Adwords. But instead of Angie's List, Google Adwords is better. Why? Well, you can start and stop it on a dime whenever you want. You don't have to commit to a year. You don't have to commit to 2 or 3 months. It's just done, and you do it how you want to do it, when you want to do it, and spend however much you want to spend. If you want to spend $200 this month in Google Adwords, you do it. If you want to spend $50, you do it. If you want to spend $2,000, you do it. It's all up to you. Oh yeah, and other guys are saying, been saying the Better Business Bureau. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, and again, it depends on some cities. Better Business Bureau can be a good investment, especially for the $300. Especially if you need something to give yourself some credibility. Oh, we used to be members. We currently aren't. So let's talk about Google AdWords in particular. We're talking about Google, but what on Google can you use is Google AdWords. You don't have to really do any type of a whole lot of prep. You got to know a little bit about how to do AdWords. There's a little bit of a learning curve. It's not something that you can just jump into and get good at without learning some, but it's not hard. Okay, it's not rocket science, but you do have to go through a little bit of a learning curve to be able to do it and make better money and get a better response. Because that's really what all this is about, guys. The only thing I care about with any of this stuff is figuring out what's going to get me the best response, what's going to get you guys the best response, the best bang for your buck. Okay. If something new comes along tomorrow, I abandon Google AdWords and that's it, right? I used to be a big proponent of newspaper advertising. I'm still not totally against it, but if you notice, I'm not as big of a proponent. Why? Well, newspaper advertising is going down, right? Used to be a huge proponent of doing SEO for your website, and I still am. And there are still things that work really well for that. However, really SEO is fickle. It works sometimes it doesn't. And, there are some things that you should put as a backbone to get your website really set to where it can show up on Google, but there's no relying on that day in, day out for consistently over the course of years. But Google AdWords is one of the things that currently, and again, right now works and works well. Some new things are coming on with AdWords, though, that you guys need to know about to make sure that you're doing it right and make sure that you're getting your best bang for your buck. Jim's mentioning what's the best for clicks, Google AdWords or Facebook ads. Your clicks are going to be cheaper on Facebook ads. The only problem with Facebook ads is that you are going to have a little bit less of a qualified lead, because think about where they're at when they're clicking on your ad and when they're engaging with you. On Facebook, they're just on Facebook. They're on social time, right? Oh, here's an ad for carpet cleaning. Okay, great. They may or may not really be serious anytime in the near future. That's why it's a really good idea to put in a remarketing thing for that when you advertise on Facebook. But so there's that. It's cheaper, but it's not got the quality of they're ready to buy now. When you show up in a Google AdWords ad, they're typing in carpet cleaning Atlanta. They're looking for a carpet cleaner if they're typing in carpet cleaning Atlanta. They are a hot prospect, so it's better. So which one's going to still be better in the long run? Really, I don't know. I don't know that I've really done enough tracking of that directly for the both to really see. Typically, our Google AdWords ads do better, and I'm going to show you a couple things that might help you in just a second. Bill's mentioning if you are number one on the search page, why do AdWords? Because you can be higher up if you're doing AdWords. Here's the search for carpet cleaning Atlanta. Okay, here are the ads. You'll be up here. And there's a couple reasons. That's a good question. Would you rather show up twice in the search for carpet cleaning in your city, or cleaning whatever service that you do in your city, or just once? Well, that's one good reason. I'd rather show up twice. Would you rather show up in the organic and up here again? Well, I'd rather show up, up here higher than down here. Because the organic area, if you're number one in Google, you start down here, or if you're listed in the maps, you start right here. The other thing, like I just mentioned though, Bill, and of course this doesn't really apply much for right now. If you're ranking number one today, then that's a little different. But if you're ranking number one today, keep in mind that could change. So, well, let's go ahead and get used to Google AdWords. Go ahead and start doing it. But even if you're currently ranking, why not show up twice? The other thing is you've got a whole lot more flexibility and control over what shows up in your ad. If you want to talk about a current special, if you want to talk about a current award, something that's going to attract them, you can put that in, and you don't always have that control with your organic listing. Okay, sometimes you can, but it's not as much to where you're going to have that much control. That's another big reason. The other thing is you're not ranking for every single keyword that you want to rank for. Maybe you rank really well for carpet cleaning, but you're not ranking for water damage. Maybe you're ranking great for water damage, but you're not ranking for area rug cleaning. One of the big things that I'm going to be talking about some, I guess, tonight and in the near future, services like area rug cleaning, right? Hardly any other carpet cleaners are doing ads for area rug cleaning, and if they are, they're not doing them right. And therefore, you can come in and do an ad for area rug cleaning and do well and not spend that much money. So that's another big reason. So those are, a couple of reasons. So here's what's going on with AdWords. They used to have a little thing over here on the side where they would show sidebar ads, but now they're not. Those have disappeared. Now all they're showing currently, and this could change any day, but right now they're showing 4 here. So that means that only 4 of the best ads are showing up. Well, how do you make sure you've got one of the best ads? There's a few things that you need to make sure that you're doing with that. We're going to show you in just a second. So some of the important new stuff going on with this is your ad must be relevant. Okay. In other words, when you have a area rug cleaning ad, you need to make sure that your area rug cleaning ad leads the stuff in the ad that has the keywords for area rug cleaning it leads them to a page about area rug cleaning when they click on the ad. You also need to make sure that your keywords are just about area rug cleaning, not mixed with carpet cleaning necessarily. I guess they could be. That's not as important. But do make sure that if your keywords are predominantly about area rug cleaning and it leads to an area rug cleaning page, that the ad talks about area rug cleaning. It doesn't just say carpet cleaning. Here's the huge mistake that I see. In fact, let me maybe even go back to this ad here. I think this is a search for carpet cleaning. And maybe, actually, let me just pull up Google and I'll look at something here just to show you guys. We can speculate maybe a few things here. Carpet cleaning, no, area rug cleaning, Atlanta. So I highly suggest that you do a different ad, a whole different really campaign for each service that you're doing. That alone, if you guys do that right, you can save a lot. And two, with the new way that they're doing Google AdWords, and I've talked about that even for years, but now it's even more so important because your ad may or may not show up at all. If it does, you're going to pay a lot more. You could literally be paying twice what your competitor's paying. When I've set this kind of stuff up for some cleaning companies, it's literally saved them 30%, 40%, sometimes 50% over what they were paying. So here's our ads for area rug cleaning. Here's an ad about area rug cleaning, so is that one, so is that one. So this is good. Used to, when we would run these, we would see more. We'd run an area rug cleaning ad and the whole thing would be about, the ads would be all about carpet cleaning. So if you notice, the carpet cleaning ads aren't showing up, just the area rug cleaning ads are showing up, and even an area rug cleaning website right there. Let's go ahead and click on, let's say this link right here. It's going to cost these guys a couple bucks. But look, it leads to an Oriental rug cleaning page. You don't know how, and this might be because they're refining the stuff more with AdWords right now, but you don't know how many times we've done that in years past where we typed in area rug cleaning Atlanta, the ad was about carpet cleaning, and it led to a page about carpet cleaning or just a general cleaning page, and or we typed in area rug cleaning, the ad said something about area rug cleaning, but it led to a page about carpet cleaning, and we had to dig deep somewhere to find out about area rug cleaning. So it has to be just like that. You type in area rug cleaning, the ad talks about area rug cleaning. Of course, here it doesn't except for in the headline. It'd be better if it actually talked about it a little bit here too. And in fact, this guy does right here, so this is good. The other ones, this one does. Of course, this is a dedicated area rug cleaning website. Could be even better for you too, by the way, guys. I suggest that if you're doing a fair amount of area rug cleaning, have a dedicated website. We do websites for as little as $500. So spend $500, have a dedicated website for area rug cleaning. Why not? It's silly not to. It also helps to set your client more at ease. Same thing with water damage, or if you do some of these other services that are high end that people are concerned about, they don't want to hire a carpet cleaning company to do their water damage restoration. So depending on how you market yourself, it is possible to market it all in one big website, but you got to make sure you got your brand set. So does everybody understand that though? I mean, just that's the biggest thing from the beginning. Make sure that whenever your keywords, in other words, you're trying to show up for the keywords of area rug cleaning Atlanta, make sure your ad talks about area rug cleaning and Atlanta, ideally. Make sure that when they click on the ad, it leads to a page about area rug cleaning, not a carpet cleaning page. That's so important, and I see that alone missed a lot. I see that missed quite a bit. Okay, so the other thing, let's go ahead and go back to, well, we can just take from right here. The other thing is your topic of the ad must go to the right page. So that's what we're just talking about. So if the ad is about area rug cleaning, it needs to go to the page about area rug cleaning. As well, your keywords must be the correct association. And we talked about that a little bit too. Your keyword of area rug cleaning must associate that into the ad, and it also must associate that with the page that it goes to. Now, here's another big thing. Make sure your site loads fast. If you have a WordPress site and it takes longer than 3 seconds for your page to come up, you have a problem. Okay, if you're hosting on GoDaddy, I don't know, it seems like they might have gotten a little bit better lately, but some servers, some hosting companies are just a little bit worse for your load time. What do I mean by load time? Basically, go to your website right now, and now if you've been to it very recently, it might have an auto cache to it. It might load up quicker, but if you haven't been to it in a few days, go to it. And if it comes up and it takes longer than 3 seconds for it to come up, you got an issue. You got an issue that you need to that you need to be aware of. And that can also not only hurt your Google AdWords, but it can also hurt your website ranking, because who has a good experience? Do you ever like to go to a website where you got to wait 5-10 seconds for the website to load up? You don't. I don't enjoy it. And Google knows that people don't enjoy it either, so your site's got a poor quality score is what happens, and you're not going to rank as high in Google AdWords, and or when you do, you're going to pay more money for that same slot as the guy who has a fast loading website. So I'm not saying WordPress sites are bad, because there's some sites that aren't even WordPress sites that take a long time to load. But just make sure that if you do, make sure it's on a good server to where it's loading fast. That's really important. Another thing too is your site must look professional. If they go to your site and it looks like you did it yourself, then it's not a good site, and that can give you a little bit of a low quality score. Make sure there's no typos in the site. Make sure the pictures aren't grainy looking. Make sure the text isn't jumbled together. Make sure it generally looks good, like a professional site. Believe it or not, if it's not, you might be paying more money or showing up less frequently in AdWords. And these are all contributing to what Google calls your quality score with AdWords. So make sure that you've got all that stuff going on is the biggest thing. Make sure all of your stuff is in harmony with your keywords. Your keywords are mentioned in your ad, and your ad leads to a page that's all about whatever keyword the ad was about. Okay. And also make sure that your site loads fast. Also make sure your site looks professional, and there's no typos in it. The pictures look good. They're not grainy, that type of thing. Pretty simple, but yet I see this kind of stuff messed up a lot, especially the keyword scenario. Oftentimes somebody will set up a Google AdWords ad or a whole campaign, and they'll throw in, okay, I'm going to do an ad for, just cleaning. And they'll throw in cleaning, and the keywords will be in that same ad for carpet cleaning, for tile cleaning, area rug cleaning, upholstery cleaning, and everything all in that same ad. And the ad just says something about we're the best carpet cleaners in Atlanta. Click here for this 3 rooms for $99 special. Well, that same ad's coming up for you. If you did it just like that, that same ad is coming up for upholstery cleaning and tile cleaning and all the other keywords you put in. There's no relevancy there. Okay, it doesn't make sense. It's confusing to the user and to Google. And then when they click on it, it just goes to a page that talks about carpet cleaning. Well, don't do that. Section them out and spend the time to do that. It's a little bit more time consuming, but believe me, it really helps in the long run. Let's see here. I got off of my PowerPoint. So we talked about that. We talked about making sure the keywords are relevant. And Jim's mentioning Google has 2 versions of the AdWord, and a cheaper version. Have you looked at the cheaper version? You mean the AdWords Express? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Do not do AdWords Express. That is a version where Google is going to choose things for you, and 99% of the time they're not choosing it it's not as refined. So I don't suggest that you do AdWords Express. It's not cheaper. They might give you the impression that it's cheaper. It's not. It's cheaper in the way that, I don't know. It's not cheaper though. It's not going to be cheaper for you. If you do it right anyway, AdWords, the regular form of AdWords, is going to be your better bet all day long. And of course, we do have training courses on AdWords. We do also have training courses and ad examples in the Ad Club. If you're part of the Ad Club, all of that's there. So good. Let's see here. If you need help with any of this, like I said, email me. I do offer one-on-one consulting for this, where I can actually go in and set up your AdWords campaign for you. If you wish, you can even watch me on a webinar kind of like this. If you need help with any of that kind of stuff, we also have training for that inside of the Ad Club. We also, even without the Ad Club, we have a special training course for that. So every door direct mail, this is another thing that's still pretty big. Still one of the big things that I mentioned that you guys do, especially for spring. Right now is one of the best times to do every door direct mail. Why? People are thinking about cleaning. It's getting warmer. They're thinking about cleaning up their house. So every door direct mail is great because there isn't that commitment. I hate the marketing and the advertising methods that require year-long commitments to even test it out to see if it's going to work, or even 3 or 6 month commitments, right? EDDM, you can try it for a week if you want to, right? So no permits required, no annual fees. It's a lot bigger than a regular postcard. We've talked about this a lot, so I'm not going to go over all the individual stuff about this, but you can target any neighborhood that you want, and you don't have to label the postcards. And this is an example of one postcard that we've done for winter that was really, really good. And here's the other side. We've got a version of this as well for spring. Now, here is another example actually of a similar, no, I think this is a little bit different than that one, but it's similar to a postcard that we did a year or two ago. That's been one of the best running postcards that we've done. And we've kind of readapted this. This will be actually on the Ad Club site tomorrow, but we've readapted this for spring, and we kind of gave it a little bit of a spring look because, again, this is a theme that's going on in people's mind. They want the fresh grass and the blue sky and the sunny skies and the no more snow and rain and all this stuff. So we're giving them a free gift to our neighbors, and we are giving them some of the benefits of cleaning and some of the things that we do that's different about giving them the spot return guarantee. Yeah, I do highly recommend that you give them some type of a no spot return guarantee. Hardly anybody takes advantage of it, but the people that do take advantage of it love you more when you come back and clean those spots for them. Now, we don't, like it mentions here, we don't include pet stains. So somebody calls back and says, Fido's urine stains came back. Well, that's not included. But any other kind of spot, unless we put on the invoice that it's not included because of some extraordinary situation, we actually make good on that guarantee. But we give them some free gifts. Now, here's the thing. For you guys that have seen this one and or another one, there's two versions of this or two ways that you can do this. Give them the free gifts without any obligation at all. It's just a free trial offer. We want you to come try it, and there's no obligation. Now, that is the best way to do it if you are a pretty good salesperson and or your technicians that are going out are a pretty good salesperson and they're going to go out and sell more whenever they go out. Now, if you know that they're not a good salesperson or you're not a good salesperson, you might want to say, we'd like to give you a free gift with any cleaning purchase. And you just want to simply change the words right there to with any cleaning purchase, right? And then on the other side, we re-stress, we give them, it's a letter, and it's a 6.5 by 11-inch postcard. It can be used as an EDDM. Normally, this is an EDDM. We should show them a little bit about the free carpet cleaning, the free tile cleaning, and again, the guarantee and walking them through how it works. We want to put them in the place of actually using this thing, this freebie that we're giving them. And again, we can either have it to where we have no obligation, and again, what you might want to change is where if you don't want to give them any obligation, it's just a free trial offer, keep it as is. If you want to give them an obligation to use more, you just need to say, I want to give you free cleaning with any cleaning purchase. You might want to restate that there and maybe take out the no obligation. You could put in maybe just no gimmicks, that type of thing. Or you might even, if you want to re-stress that you do require a purchase, maybe with any purchase, you might want to put that down there so that they know. Because believe it or not, people typically don't read the whole postcard, even though they're calling you. They typically won't read the whole postcard. But again, this offer, the way we've done this, has been really, really good. And if you notice too, it's like we talked about before, it's a multi-sell type of an offer. We don't want to come in and just do carpet cleaning. We want to come in, clean their carpets, their rugs, their tile, their vinyl floor, their upholstery. We used to do hardwood floor refurbishing and cleaning, but we don't currently. We might get into it in the near future, but if you do, that might be another thing that you might want to include instead. But in other words, we're doing it to give them the offer for getting to try out both of these things, because we don't want to come in and just do one thing. We want to come in and, be able to get this, really going on. Charlie's mentioned that he went and was Googling. That's a good point, Charlie. Charlie said that he went and was Googling some cities in Google, and he was noticing that even though he had Googled a certain city, there were other cleaning companies from other cities in that search that he was making. In your case, Charlie, since you were Googling it in an outside city, since you're currently located in Omaha, that's why that ad was showing up. So that's fairly normal. Yeah, absolutely. What's funny is sometimes though, if you don't do your Google AdWords correctly, and that's not even one thing that we talked about, but honing in on the location in the campaign, back to talking about AdWords for a second. If you don't do that correctly, you could actually be advertising and not realize it put to other cities all around the United States. So you got to make sure that you're advertising to the right spots. And it could be that that's what that guy's doing, but it also could be because you're in Omaha, he's kind of targeting you, and you typed in you typed in carpet cleaning, and you're in Omaha, and that's why that worked that way. So, all right, but back to we're talking about with this every door direct mail piece. So here, we want to go ahead and let them know, the biggest thing, if you notice, when you put out a ad or when you see an ad, the first thing that you're wondering is, well, geez, this is too good to be true. Why would they do this? Well, we go ahead and lay all the cards on the table, and we tell them, well, why would we do this? Well, here's why. This is only going out to select people. They're important, and you're sectioning them out, and it's only for a limited time. And we're doing this because we want to get to know you and make more friends in our neighborhood. And then it makes sense to them. Even a brief explanation of why we're doing this makes us a lot more believable, gives you some credibility, and again, gives the guarantee, and it just makes for an all-around, good information. One of the things that people always ask me, though, is, geez, John, why is there so much text in this or this other postcard that you've got over here? That's a lot of text. Everybody's not going to read all that. Well, that's true, but even if I had more than one sentence, everybody wouldn't read all that. It doesn't matter. The people that are interested in it will read it. But the other thing, too, is when people get mail, they intend on reading mail, right? So there's no disconnect there with them reading. I'm under no delusion that they're going to read it all. I don't expect them to read it all. If they're interested, they will. If they're not, they won't. But the thing is, if you want to sell them, you need to explain things to them in the postcard. They're not going to call you because you put a pretty picture up of a baby, or not that that's a bad thing, and we do that in some of our ads, but it needs more than just an attention getting picture. You need to actually sell them in text. Pictures don't sell. Okay. Pretty graphics don't sell. You need to explain to them what you're doing, why you're giving this away, make yourself believable, give a guarantee, have all of these components, and it really helps to really sell. Right. Like David just said, the more you tell, the more you sell. Exactly. That's exactly it. We are going to have to, I didn't realize that I forgot to get my power cord plugged in. So that is an issue that I'm going to have to give me just a second, guys. I need to go grab my power cord. Okay, I am back. I'm sorry about that. Good. Running up and down the stairs, out of breath a little bit. So, but keep in mind, this is a, so like we talked about, the more you tell, the more you sell. This is a EDDM that we've sent out after heavy rains, when we've done water damage. We don't do, well, actually, we've been doing a little bit more water damage lately. We haven't gone full scale into doing it and marketing a lot, basically. But this is something that you're going to want to do for, maybe particular times when freezes are coming and pipes are breaking. There's a lot of rain, that type of thing. So keep in mind, EDDM isn't just for carpet cleaning, tile cleaning. Area rug cleaning can be done. I haven't always had, as good of a success with area rug cleaning EDDMs as I've had with carpet cleaning and tile cleaning EDDMs. If you do area rug cleaning, I highly recommend that you do maybe like a combo and like throw area rug cleaning in with carpet cleaning, tile cleaning. Or if you know of a particular area of town that has a lot of hardwood floor, or an older area that's a more affluent area that might have better rugs, that might be a good alternative for you guys with that. But so area rug cleaning EDDMs can work. It's just a little bit trickier to get them to work. But if you're really trying to market and go after area rug cleaning clients, it's well worth the investment and spending the time and figuring out how to do that. But yeah, keep in mind, and again, we're educating them through this a little bit too, but we're really also selling them and telling them. And in this case, we're sending this to people that really have, almost inevitably had some type of a water problem, or know somebody that does if we've had a lot of rain. Sometimes in our area, we can get, one time we got 25 inches of rain in 24 hours, which was just exponential even for our area in Florida. But it's not uncommon. Like today, we probably got 4 or 5 inches of rain just today, and today was just kind of it rained. It wasn't anything ridiculous. It was just a thunderstorm, and it just rained. So let's talk a little bit about some of the requirements of EDDM. If you guys have any questions about that, we'll roll those in. Let's talk about what EDDM requires, just real brief. It does require that you mail at least 200 pieces. There's a free version of EDDM that doesn't require any, you have to pay for the postage, but there's no permit. You just can't mail more than 5,000 in one day, which is usually not an issue. To do it, it's pretty easy. We're going to talk about the steps of this in just a second. First, you need to design it. It has to be at least 6.25 by 8 inches and up to as big as 12 by 15 inches. So it has to be anywhere from a sort of big to a really big postcard. It can also be folded in half too, but it can't be just a thin single piece of paper. So usually a postcard is the most common thing. Then you're going to, well, here's some of the common sizes. 6 by 11 is a common size that we do. 8.5 by 11 is a common size. Those are probably our most popular kind that we normally do. 9 by 12 kind of as well, but 6 by 11, 8.5 by 11 are probably our most popular. But that's a big postcard. Make sure when you print it as well that you have the right insignia on it, and it usually looks something like that right there, where it says EDDM Retail PRST, PRSRT, and residential customer, your city name, state. It doesn't have to have the city and state, but it can say either local postal customer or residential customer. And then make sure you're going to stack it. You're going to stack them in stacks of 100 and put rubber bands around each stack. Normally we count out the first stack and then we approximate by stacking the other ones next to it. We do 5,000 at a time. It takes one of my guys that's used to doing it probably an hour to stack them up, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. But the first time you do it, it might take you a couple hours because you're kind of not used to doing it and it's a little awkward. But after you're used to doing it, it's not that bad. And then, that's all you got to do, really. Just take it down to the post office after that. The hardest part of it is doing the stacking like I just showed you. And again, an hour of work, maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little less if you're even only doing 500 or 1,000 or something like that. And then take it down to the post office that services that particular zip code. This is the site to go to. Let me even give this to, well, where are we going here? Oh, I can't give it to you right now. But that's the site to go to. You can just Google Every Door Direct Mail, USPS or something like that, and you'll be able to find that link. Or if you guys want to write it down or take a screen capture of it. That's where you want to go to actually set EDDM up. And then it's going to take you to this tool where you're going to go in and you're going to select your zip code. You're just going to select it. It's going to tell you how many people are in that area. And it's going to tell you how much it's going to cost to run it. And it's generally, if you don't have a bulk mail permit, I think it's 17.5 cents right now. If you do have a bulk mail, I think it's, is it 16? I can't remember exactly. It's right at 16. It could be a tad more. It could be a tad less. It's either 16 point something or 15 point something, almost 16. But you save about a penny and a half, I think, by doing it with a bulk mail permit. But you don't have to have the permit. Keep that in mind. But it's going to tell you how many people you got there. Sometimes it'll even tell you the household income. Generally, can't always rely on it that much. But the biggest thing that I recommend that you do, though, guys, is you drive through the neighborhood and you know where you're sending these things. That's the thing that I've talked about for years. Don't just blindly go, okay, well, here's what the USPS says, and then select these, different areas. I recommend that what I used to do is I used to drive through the neighborhoods that I really wanted to target. I'd find out where they were. I put them on my goal list, and I knew the neighborhoods that I wanted to get into. And I knew, what the houses look like. I knew, and I would go through that neighborhood and go and kind of claim that as, look, this is going to be my neighborhood. What do I need to do to get in this neighborhood? That's the kind of stuff that I really recommend that you do. But the tool here will help you do that, but it's not a replacement for driving through. And then what you want to do after you drive through is go in here and find where those spots were at that you drove through, and play around with it too to make sure that it's the mail routes that you want to hit. Go drive through, maybe even take this and take a screen capture when you put it in. Drive through that neighborhood and check it out, make sure that there's the right streets that you want to hit, et cetera, et cetera. Print out Google Maps and do what you need to do your homework with that kind of stuff. And then in the meantime, maybe you're going to send out an Every Door Direct Mail campaign. When you're not doing a campaign to that particular area, give them some doorknob hangers. Go ahead and doorknob hanger the whole place. What type of Mark's asking what type of sequence do you do, or how many do you mail to them? Basically, you're going to mail an EDDM postcard. You're going to mail an EDDM postcard. Maybe I would do, here's 5,000 addresses, right? If I wanted to do a lot that particular month, we don't normally even do this many in one month, but maybe pick this area right here that's, say, 1,000, right? I would maybe do an EDDM postcard like this coming Monday. A week later, send them another postcard, maybe the same exact one. And then a week after that, send them a smaller version of the same one, and or something that says this is your last chance, to where they're getting a postcard from me every week for the next 3 weeks. Now, I might, instead of just doing it every week, I might wait 2 weeks. It just depends on how my marketing's going and that type of thing, or if I'm waiting for the other order to come in. But normally I want to mail it out on a Monday. I want them to get the postcard on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. It's going to be your best bet for sending out the mailers. And then basically, I'm going to just, after I do that sequence where I'm mailing them one for each week or every other week for 6 weeks, however I want to do that. But basically 3 mailers that I'm not going to mail them for 3 or 4 months. Maybe during that 3 or 4 months, I might give them a doorknob hanger, because I don't want that. I'm not giving up on these people. I've already gone in and claimed them as my neighborhood. Okay. And I've handpicked this neighborhood. This is important stuff, guys, about the way to think about this kind of stuff. You're not just getting on this tool and haphazardly picking. One of my biggest frustrations is when I have a client that I'm dealing with and they go, "Hey, John, well, can you just get on the website for me? I'll pay you some extra money. Just get on the website for me and pick the neighborhoods for me." And I'm just knocking my head and going, you're getting it all wrong. That's not how you want to do this. I am not in your city. I'm not picking out your neighborhoods. This is your marketing. You need to pick out your neighborhoods. I don't know who it is that you want to clean for. You need to know who it is. You need to intimately know who it is that you want to clean for, and go in and market to these guys, and not just the one time and stop. Mail to them the 3 sequence of a good offer, a good message, a good proving of the fact that you are the one that they can trust and you have a good reputation, and then mail them something 3 times, one today, one in 1 week, and another one in a week after that. Or like I said, if you want to do it, skip a week, that's fine too. But mail them the sequence, and then don't mail them for a few months, but maybe during that time, mail them go around and do a doorknob hanger if you have the time, that type of thing. But hone in on these guys. They're the people that you're wanting to really woo, and it's going to take more than just sending them one postcard and then going, "Well, geez, I don't know why they're not convinced that I'm the best carpet cleaner in town." Well, you only send them one postcard. You need to send them several things. You need to really go after them relentlessly. And it's better for you to target in on, this is important too, it's better for you to target in on this one thing and do that 3 or 4 times with mailing them than to target everybody and mail them once. You want to really get on one neighborhood. But keep in mind, what we've routinely seen is some neighborhoods you get a better response than other neighborhoods. Well, and I don't know why that ever works that way, but that's, sometimes, even though they're equal caliber neighborhoods, that's sometimes the case. So you want to try one neighborhood and then have another neighborhood that you're trying to maybe the next month, and then pick which neighborhoods are the best and really go after those neighborhoods. But don't give up on them. Bill's mentioning you cannot give them the pieces by number in the routes instead of by the hundreds. You can't give them the pieces by number in the routes. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Bill. Do you mean that you have to, you just basically get in the tool and you pick the route, and it's just whatever it is what it is, and you just give them that many, in a nutshell. So in other words, if I pick this route right here, it's CO02, which I'm not sure if it's one of these or not, but that's 777, 31 businesses. I can X the businesses out if I want, or I can keep them. I can't do it vice versa. I have to do the residential ones, but basically I do 800. And then send it to that entire mail route. Is that what you mean? Bill's saying, plan on sending them all out tomorrow. Half of our street leaves after April. Well, that's good. And if you're in a seasonal area like that, now might be a good time for that. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So sending something in the meantime, but make sure that you understand that the most important part, 2 most important parts. 1, the message is super, super important. What you say in the message, the offer, super, super important. And 2, the fact that you're making sure you're targeting the right people, that is super important. Make sure it's the people that you really want to hit. Don't market to people that you think might be a good neighborhood. Know for sure before you spend that money. Go through and drive the neighborhood. Check them out. Make sure that they're the people that you want to hit. And then secondarily, make sure you're giving them a quality message with a good offer, convincing them that you are the one for them, not just forget the rest, call the best kind of junk, but an actual well thought out message saying, here's why we have a great reputation. Here's why we're giving you this special, unique offer that's almost too good to be true. And make sure that they're convinced that you have a good reputation. Oh, okay. He's saying that versus banding them by hundreds. Right, yeah. Well, you do need to ban them in the stack of hundreds, but you can't give them pieces by number. Right, yeah. In other words, you can't, if you have a 800 people that's going to go in your mail route, you can't just give them 800 postcards and count them out that way. You have to give them stacks of eight, 100 per stack. And they have to be in stacks of 100. Ben's asking, can you set that campaign including the print and design? Can I set that campaign? I'm not sure what you mean by set. Are you meaning like, can we do that campaign for you? Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things that we do in the coaching club. In fact, because I know a lot of you guys that are listening to this are in the coaching club already, but a few of you aren't. If you're not, go to hitmanadvertising.com/coaching. And you'll see some of the information on that, or email me. Most of you have my email, or contact me on Facebook, and I can give you some information on getting set up. But it's hitmanadvertising.com/coaching. We had some of you guys that weren't part of the coaching club. I know most of you are that are on the webinar, so it won't take really much time at all to talk about that. But if you have any other questions at all, you can email me, john@hitmanadvertising.com. Respond to any of the emails that you get from me from the email newsletter. It leads right back to me. You'll email me directly, or you can give Teresa a call at 850-474-1110. So there we go with that. And let me make sure. Let's see here. Yeah, let me go ahead and give you guys, I think Ben was asking about that. That's the ad club. Now let's see here. I might be able to give you guys this direct link to the I'll give you guys that in just a second. We'll go ahead and stop the recording, and there we go. And let's see here. If you guys have any other questions, we can get those answered even though the recording is stopped. That'll be fine. There we go. Did that go through? Yeah, I think they did. Perfect. Oh yeah, we can. Ben, give me a call. Again, you can go to that page and sign up for the Ad Coaching Club, or here's my email address for everybody else too. And if anybody else has any other particular questions, needs clarification, that type of thing. But do we have any other questions? Go ahead and even though we got the recording stopped, if anybody has any other questions, let me know now, and I am here to answer your questions. If not, we'll go ahead and call the webinar to a close. Some of the postcards, the newer postcards that I just showed you, if you haven't seen that newer one for spring for the EDDM, that's going to be in the Ad Club site tomorrow. We've got some other spring mailers coming up too, and some other things for Facebook. We're also going to be talking about Google AdWords and remarketing and how to set that up, because that's something that's hugely important. Have you ever gone to maybe Amazon and you've gone to buy something but you didn't buy it, and then you see an ad for that thing all over the place when you go to other websites? Well, it's called remarketing. And you can do that for your own cleaning company, and it's very inexpensive to do it. And when we do it for my cleaning company, I think we pay like 15 cents or 10 cents per click, right? Because there are people that have already been to my website in the last 30, I don't know, remember how long, 30 or 60 days, but we're putting our ads back in front of them, and we're haunting them, right? We're reminding them that, hey, you need to come click on our site and come back to our site to buy. And we're doing it for really a little bit of money. It's a good small amount of money to invest in to be able to remind people about you. So, all right, guys. Well, I don't see any other questions rolling in. Let me just double check over here. I'll give you guys just another second. I will have the recording up for this in the Ad Club site. I may go ahead and put it up on the cleaning marketing discussion group too. I'm not 100% sure, but it will be up on the Ad Club site. So, all right, guys. Well, God bless. Have a great rest of the night, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.